Alrighty everyone, so welcome to my new money making guide. Now first method is called jungle spiders, alright? So we're going to go into the requirements, but also the main menu button is up in the right hand corner. If you ever need to go back to the main menu, just click it. So first of all, stat requirements, there are none. Now recommended, I recommend 20 plus defense, 40 plus strength, or 30 plus attack, and those are what I recommend. Also quests. This is not a requirement like I said, but Fairy Tale Part 2, just get to the part where you unlock the fairy rings. You don't have to complete the quest to use the fairy rings later on, but it's highly recommended. So let's move on to gear and setup. So the gear and setup that I recommend in this is pretty basic. Now if you can do better, definitely upgrade and do as best as you can. Now you can also, for like the shield section, you can also have a what are those shields called? I think they're like the Tazakal, whatever, you know, the obby shield they're called. You can have one of those, and obviously rings if you have rings, or any type of cape, like a one of those drape capes or whatever. Now where to go? There are two methods. Number one is quicker, and that includes the fairy ring method, and then method 2 is a little bit slower, and it will cost a little bit of money to do it, but click one of those links on screen to go to that method. Alrighty, so this is first method. This is the fairy ring one, and I started in Edgeville. I'm going to run to the fairy ring right there, and we're going to activate it, and I believe the code is CLS, and that will be on screen if you didn't hear me. So what you're going to do is you're going to type it in, or if you have a log with all the fairy ring codes in it already, just click CLS, and it will teleport you to this island full of jungle spiders, and you'll just start there, and whenever you need a bank, you will go back to Edgeville or wherever is the closest bank. Now method 2, you want to have a way to get to Camelot. If you run there, it's a long way, but if you have a teletab or something easy to get there, good, that's what you need. And you also need 480 GP per round trip. So you're going to head south of the bank, and you're going to travel to Brimhaven. Now this is going to cost 240 gold to get there, and then 240 gold to go back. But when you get on this island, which is Karamja, this is kind of like the main town, you're going to run a little south, and then there are jungle spiders. Now they won't show up on your screen or on your mini map, but they are there, kind of blending in. So tips and tricks. The tips and tricks are very simple. I'm just going to tell you the weaknesses on this guide. And so crush and slash are their weaknesses. You can use weapons such as a dragon scimitar or a whip for slash, and then for crush, I believe it's a dragon battle axe and a dragon 2H. So those are good for crush. And if you want to click on screen for the full-length guide of this is just a little mini show you the method, but the other guide will really walk you through everything. So definitely check that out and click the link, and be right back with the next method. Okay everyone, so this is method 2, and this is Black Demon. So if you are brand new to this guide and you are just watching method 2 for the first time, or any of these methods, there's a main menu button up in the right hand corner. You can click it and it will take you right back to the main menu if you want to try out some other methods. Now some requirements is 30 plus defense, no strength requirements, and 70 plus attack. The defense is for some armor that I'm going to discuss in a little bit, and then 70 plus attack was for a whip. Now I recommend 43 plus prayer for protect from melee, or not recommend, it's a requirement I should say. And then recommendations I have are 50 plus defense, 80 plus strength, and 80 plus attack. Strength, you don't have to have really high strength. but it definitely will help in the long run if you do, because you will hit much harder. And then 80 plus attack I recommend for a chaotic, which I'll explain which one you should buy. And then 50 plus defense is just to help you out, you know. And I also recommend 95 plus prayer for turmoil or soul split, but you won't be really using soul split as much, but turmoil for sure. And that quest to do it is the Temple of Seniston, and also 89 plus herblore, and for some extremes, extreme attack and extreme strength. And to do that, you know, you gotta do the herblore quest. And then also other stats I have is all the summoning levels you see on screen are summoning levels for different creatures that will hold stuff. Now if you want to click the screen where it says here and it's a little green text, that'll take you to a full list of all of the creatures, and then it's got a link to come right back to this part of the guide, so it's going to be really easy to get back. So don't worry about that. You can click there and come back as soon as possible. Also 70 or 80 plus agility. I don't recommend doing this without those levels. So yeah. Now gear and inventory is you can switch up almost everything in this gear and setup, but what I really do recommend is to have the proselyte gear. It will really help you on prayer, and you know, when you're protecting against melee, they can't even hit you, so it's definitely recommended. Now you can switch out everything here really, except for yeah, I mean you could, but you would obviously hit a lot less. I recommend warrior helm if you're going to use rapier, because stab they're very weak to. And then the other items on screen, you can take a look at those. But yeah, now the list of equipment is cannonball, or a cannon with 2k cannonballs, 14 prayer potions, a teletab to get out of there, 3 extremes, which 3 attack and 3 strength extremes, and then winter scroll or winter storage scrolls, which are the pack-yak scrolls. And then also use flasks. You know, if you can afford them, definitely use them. And you know, take any beast of burden that you can. Also, if you're gonna take flasks, make sure to bring a extra you know, pack-yak if you're gonna use pack-yak, but obviously that's a pretty high level summoning, so it's kind of hard if you don't have that. So, you know, just plan ahead. If you're not using a pack-yak, obviously do not bring all these potions and stuff, and I will show other methods in the other more in-depth guide. So this is where to go. Now there's method 1 and method 2, which method 2 is just slightly quicker than method 1, but if you have 70 agility, just, you know, it's fine, you can do method 1, but click one of the methods and to skip to that part of the guide. What I was saying about the 2 different methods is they are very similar. Okay, you're gonna start in Taverley. You can take the lodestone is where I was, and what you're gonna do is run from the bank. You're gonna run to the Taverley dungeon, and then if you have 70 agility, which is method 1, you're gonna go to the right through the blue dragon pipeline right there, and then you're gonna run a little south and to the west, and then boom, you're gonna have black dragon or black demons everywhere. Now method 2 is the same exact route from the bank, but what you're simply going to do is go north and then right through this little thing right here, this little trap. And honestly, they are so similar that I don't even know how different they are, you know, like time wise. So honestly, if you have 70 agility, you're fine. Do it. It's literally, it won't really cut too much money off your GP per hour. But anyways, tips and tricks. We're going to take a look at the weapons are weak to, which is crush and attack. The slash attack is good with, or slash, you know, if you have a whip or a D-skimmy, that's both good. They're both fine for that. And then, you know, a D battle axe and a D long, or 2H. Also, click here for a full-length guide, which will explain things more and a little more in depth. So, yeah. Okay everyone, so this is method 3 of my money making guide, and it's snakes. Now if you are new to this guide and this is your first method you're watching, there's a button up in the right hand corner that says main menu. You can click it to go to the main menu at any time. So requirements for this method is 40 plus defense and 60 plus strength and attack, and then recommended stats is 40 plus defense and then 70 plus strength and attack. Now some requirements: the quest Cabin Fever, and you must do this quest to gain access to Mostly Harmless. And also recommended quest is the Great Brain Robbery to obtain the item Prayer Book. You're definitely going to be using this if you do have it, but if you don't, it's fine. You can just bring anti-poisons instead. So on that note, we're going to move on to gear and setups. Now the gear and setup is honestly, you can mix it up any way you want. It's up to you, but this is my personal gear I am going to be using. You can use things less or better, but yeah, all the arrows are color coordinated according to their text, so it's easy to follow. And then by the way, I do have in the full length guide, I'll have some other methods with different gear and stuff, so definitely go check that out in a little bit. And then here's the other 2 items that I missed. So yep, also list of equipment is very simple. It's going to be a prayer book if you do have it from the Great Brain Robbery, and then a holy symbol also if you did the quest. But you can bring anti-poisons like I said instead. Now how to get there, I recommend just using your ecto-file and going, and this guy on the left of course he gets in the frame, and you're gonna go to the Port Phasmatis, and you're gonna go all the way east until you get on this boat. You're gonna talk to Bill Teach, and he's gonna travel you over to Mostly Harmless. You're gonna go all the way north, and then you're gonna go all the way east, far east, over to the mini game. I think it's Trouble Brewing. I could be wrong. I don't know. I've never played before. But yeah. Anyways, this is where you're going to find the snakes and start your money making ways. So tips and tricks. They're just going to be weaknesses that snakes have, I think. Oh, no, it's not. It's there's a bank right here. When you have a full inventory, you can just simply bank, and it's very easily, it's easy and convenient. And so yeah, we're going to move on to the next method in a second. But first off, click the link on screen if you want to go check out the full-length guide, which will describe everything you need to do to be efficient. And so I will see you guys next method. Okay everyone, so this is the final method on this huge guide. It's Frost Dragons. So if you are just watching this method and not even watching the other ones, it's okay. There's a main menu button up in the right hand corner if you do want to check out the other methods, but let's get on to the requirements. 70 plus defense, strength, and attack is what I is a requirement I made because of just because they're so high level. Now you also need 85 plus dungeoneering, which is a requirement to access them. Now a recommendation is 70 plus defense, 85 plus strength, and 80 plus attack. 80 attack for a chaotic, 85 strength for, you know, hit harder, and then 70 for Bandos. Now 95 plus prayer for turmoil, and then 85 plus herblore for extreme attack and strength. And then you can see the quest right underneath, which is the Temple of Steniston and Druid Ritual, I think it is. Yeah. And then I think that might be, oh no, also summoning. All the summoning levels on screen are summoning creatures that that can carry stuff. And so you can click the link that is a little green that says here. There's a link there, and it will take you to a full list of all the creatures, and you can go check out which one fits you best. Now, I also recommend getting the Enhanced Excalibur, which you can see all of the things on the right that it does. It's a little hard to obtain, but it's definitely worth it at Frost Dragons because it can really heal you when you're in the worst of situations. It heals 40 life points every 2 seconds for 10 seconds, for a total of 200 life points. Now let's go into the gear and setup, which is, obviously you can alter it. It's up to you. I recommend full bandos, chaotic rapier, fury, bear's gloves, dragon boots, and then what else? I have a Soulwars cape, which you'll see it'll switch in a second. Oh yeah, Helmanezi. Hopefully it'll switch soon, but I have a Soulwars cape on, a dragon, defender, and a ring of wealth, which you can switch the ring of wealth obviously with the berserker ring or anything like that. Alrighty, so this is the list of equipment, and what I recommend is 8+ prayer potions, a cannon plus 2k cannonballs, winter storage scrolls for the pack yak, 4 super anti-fire potions, and a house tele to get out of there, 4 prayer renewals, overloads, and an enhanced Excalibur, which I talked about earlier. I also recommend bringing another pouch if you're actually going to use this whole setup. I forgot to add that in there. And obviously I have 1 overload in my inventory. At the time I ran out of overloads, I only had 1, so yeah, all this can be altered. And if you're not using a pack yak, go check out my full length guide. I'll be using a method without, or I'll be using that without a pack yak, so you can see that method or equipment setup, I should say. Now, how to get there? I started in Edgeville and I ran down to the fairy rings, and then I typed in the code AIQ, and then I teleported there, and it's going to bring you to, I think it's Mudskip Point or something, Mudskipper Point or something like that. And you're gonna run north, go into this cave, and then yes, run north, then east, and then north once again, all the way up to this dungeon. And then once you enter it, you will be there, and that's where frost dragons are. So tips and tricks. These are just going to be weaknesses they have, which is stab and range. I recommend using Rapier or Brackish Blade. Brackish Blade obviously doesn't require the dungeoneering, but it's a nice little weapon. Also, click on screen to see the full length guide, and so you can actually see how to do it and different methods and different setups. So yeah, also the summoning list that I promised, that I mentioned in the Frost Dragons and Black Demons sections, is right here, and you can see all the levels. You probably want to take a pause and just look at which one fits you best. And so yeah, and if you're coming from one of those things, you can click one of the links to go back to that method, and yeah, it'll send you exactly back to the part where I talked about the summoning, so you don't miss anything. You can go back right where you left off. So thank you for watching, everyone. This is my amazing new big money making guide. I hope you liked it, and link for the music is in the description. And like always, please leave a comment and a like. Thanks for watching, everyone.